Hi, this is Joseph Arthur. Thanks for checking out Come to Where I'm From. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/come to where I'm from. We are an independent podcast, and any contributions you can make are greatly appreciated. Hey, do you want one of these iced coffees?
I'm good, thank you. I can't have too much coffee or I'll go crazy.
Right?
Yeah, I'm too sensitive.
That's why Joe has two.
I need it.
Are you going to drink both?
Yeah, I definitely.
Damn, and you have a coffee there,
I've already had two, yeah.
Wait, does the Kava bar sell coffee?
No.
Oh, does that say Kava? I'm not reading. I see K-A-V.
Oh, what is that?
It's kratom tea.
Oh, crap.
Oh, what is kratom? It's like makes you hyper, right? No.
It can give you energy, or it can also mellow you out,
Okay.
depending on how much of it you consume.
Very cool.
Yeah, but that
You
part.
could pull it.
Should I?
Yeah,
Should I come closer? I'll just come closer.
There you go.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Natalie Cuomo.
Episode 111.
111.
Oh, fancy.
That's a magic episode.
Yes.
A magical human on a magical episode. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah.
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 You live in Jersey, right?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know. Everyone's surprised.
I know all about it because I was listening to that podcast where it was Classy or Trashy.
Oh, yeah. Are you garbage?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I love that podcast.
What was the outcome?
She's classy.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, but she's got some leanings towards Trashy that are kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple. One question I have is, because you got your current, your fiance tattooed 5 times? Mm-hmm. Why 5 times? I mean... And what are the different makeups of the 5 times? And
is this the podcast?
Yeah, and how
Wait, are we doing a podcast?
and how psyched is he that you've done that?
Okay, so he has it too. The 5 times, it's all different. Like the first time was a rose, and we got each other's names.
Uh-huh.
Then I got like his last name on my collarbone.
Right.
Then we got each other's initials on our ring fingers.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes on. It's just fun. Oh, over quarantine, we got a tattoo gun. I was like, I'll just write your name.
Oh, wow. So at home.
One of them, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. That
That's
makes
frowned
sense.
upon, that part, but
Why is that?
Cool.
because you're not supposed to like mess around with a tattoo gun if you don't know what you're doing.
I wanted to get one
They
at one
shouldn't
point
sell
in my
them.
life.
Like regular guns, you need a license to get a tattoo gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would have tattoos all over my face if I had gotten one.
Right.
Right, because you'd be like,
Just messing around.
How many tattoos do you have, Poppy?
A lot.
Like what? 30, 40?
I have no idea. It's one big tattoo.
But you haven't gone one in a long time.
It's been a while.
why?
I don't know. I kind of fell out of the habit.
Okay.
And I want to go back to it, but I don't know.
He says a lot. I know you have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
I got a
as
lot.
much a lot.
I don't-
Really? That's
Who
fun.
knows? Yeah. Yeah. But it is fun. It's fun getting tattooed. It's like a transformative thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know,
It totally is.
When did you start doing that?
I guess when I turned 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I could.
What? You're an only child, right?
I am an only child, yeah.
You love that fact.
I don't know. I feel like it's at first I thought it was embarrassing, and now I'm down.
Why embarrassing?
Because there's a connotation that you're spoiled if you're an only child.
Right.
But I definitely was not spoiled. So
No. Why not? What did your folks do? What were they like?
they were cool. It's just that, I wasn't spoiled. I think I was like privileged, but
Right.
nothing excessive.
How'd you get into the comedy? What about your upbringing do you think pushed you in that direction?
Well, I was always obsessed with performance.
Uh-huh.
Like when I was a kid, I would like put on shows for my parents, and I'd like make fake tickets that they needed and stuff.
Right.
And then I actually was afraid of the auditorium in kindergarten. So my mom signed me up for an acting class. And I've been obsessed with acting my whole life.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because you went to like Lee Strasberg and
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have agoraphobia? Is that what that's called when you're afraid of big open spaces? Or
I don't anymore. I don't anymore.
No,
but
she was afraid of the auditorium, like the bigness of
as
it.
a kid, yeah, I was very
Really?
anxious in those spaces.
Regardless of how many people were sitting there, that wasn't a factor.
Not about the people. It's about the space, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Agoraphobia.
Yeah, when I was little, for sure.
Stay away from the garden.
I definitely still I don't necessarily like being in a big audience. Like I like performing to a big audience, but if I'm at a music concert and I'm in the front and I feel stuck, like when it's really crowded and you can't get out, I feel very uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the railing at a 9 Inch Nails show, gotta go to the bathroom. What do you do?
Oh my God, you have to pee your pants.
Those are real life problems, Bobby.
Big 9 Inch Nails fan, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something about his approach is amazing.
Totally. I think one of my most random quarantine experiences was trying to do a tap dance to a 9 Inch Nails song alone in my house.
That's fun. Which one?
Closer.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna do another album or what's on the horizon for them.
Yeah, I hope so.
For him.
Just that emotion they put into the music and just the aggression mixed with the electronic vibe.
Yeah, and it's just so brilliantly put together and written so well.
Did you ever get to meet him?
Mm-mm. Did you?
No, but I did actually in a grocery store once in L.A.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
And I was playing the Troubadour.
Okay.
You ever been to the Troubadour?
No.
It's classic.
Okay.
Hopefully it survives all this. And I was with a friend, I think this comedian guy, and we went up to him. He was super nice, and I told him about my show and invited him, and he was like, yeah, I'll come, or maybe I'll come. And he didn't come. But he was nice.
Ever since then, he hates him.
No, he was really nice.
No, that's all that matters.
Yeah, he was cool.
Maybe he intended to come.
Yeah, and he's from Ohio, which I am too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Just
cool.
a different singer-songwriter met him after you and invited him to his show, and he went to that one instead.
So who were your first comedy influences? What was your first I want to be like that. I want to do what they do.
I really love Nikki Glazer. I would just listen to Hannibal Buress's album on Spotify. Really liked. I mean, it's funny because I feel like I work with some of these people now, but I still do. But Joe List was one of my favorite comedians before I started comedy.
What do you like about his stuff?
I thought it was really funny and relatable. I like the way he writes about anxiety and depression. He's just got really smart jokes.
Yeah.
He's on our list, Joe.
Well, when somebody writes about anxiety and depression and it's comedic, it just comforts you so much. When you're going through your own thing, it's that thing humans do where we each tell each other our problems and make us all feel better.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that's part of it. When someone articulates something you're experiencing so well and makes you feel like it's okay to feel that.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the same thing you get when you go to 12-step program meetings.
Right.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I was just fixing your angle.
Right. So when did you first perform?
As a comedian or as an actor?
As a comedian.
As a comedian, about 3 years ago, I went to my first open mic.
And what was that like? I'm curious because I want to do it too.
You should. I feel like you talk to so many comedians.
Yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah.
I do it in between songs when I'm performing music. Right. I have gotten increasingly more comedic, but yeah, to go up and just do that is such a big challenge.
Totally. I mean, man, my first open mic, I went to do one at New York Comedy Club and it was canceled. And they're like, go to Greenwich Comedy Club and do the mic there. I walked over there and they're like, this one's canceled too. So I wound up walking to the third mic, which was at Karma Lounge. And I was just terrible. I was talking too fast, but I did it. And I think that's the advice I'd give anyone going to their first open mic is you're going to suck. And
right.
That's fine.
Did you have material written, or did you make it up on the spot?
Yeah, I had like 3 longish jokes that I prepared.
What were they?
Oh my God. I don't necessarily they were about like red flags and dating and
Let's talk about that.
yeah.
Red flags. And dating.
What was that one? What was that bit?
Dude, I don't even
If she tattoos your name on her body, run.
No, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Have you ever done that, or have you ever?
I have my mom's name tattooed on
Okay.
me.
Your grandfather.
I have my grandfather. Yeah.
That's cool. Has
Yeah.
anyone ever gotten your name?
I don't think so.
Not that you know of.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I got to work on that.
What's your grandfather's name?
His last name is Leon.
Cool.
Leon, like Joseph Leon
Cool.
from West Virginia.
Have you?
Worked in a factory all his life, a Spanish immigrant.
Whoa.
Was like a seriously amazing male role model for me.
That's awesome.
Deep dude. He liked to go to the park and look at squirrels. He loved squirrels. Squirrels were just like, if I could love anything as much as he loved squirrels, you know.
That's awesome.
He's an amazing guy.
That's really cool. Do you think most of your tattoos are meaningful like that one?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Cool.
they are. They're meaningful. They're kind of bad. But, you know, like, I mean, I don't know. You kind of accept them and keep going, and
Yeah.
they become something I think you like.
Totally.
What about you?
I think a lot of my tattoos are just because I like the artist and I wanted something from them.
Right.
I think having shitty tattoos makes you a badass for sure.
Well, then I'm a badass.
Yeah.
I'm a real badass. It is something badass about it.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. It's on my body forever. Whatever.
Well, that's the thing with tattoos is like, it's like people go like, I want to plan it. I want to make it, you know, this, that, and the other. It's like, but the nature of a tattoo is like, it's an unreasonable thing to do. It's outside of reason. There's
Totally.
really nothing that warrants putting on your body, I guess, for the rest of your life in the realm of reason.
Yeah.
So it's like this kind of like you're going into this realm that's like unreasonable or something.
Right. And I feel like people like to pretend that their tattoos mean something.
Right.
They're like, oh, yeah, I got this wolf because my grandma was so awesome and she reminded me of a wolf. It's like, no, you just wanted a picture of a wolf. Just admit it.
Right. You just like the way it looked on the wall.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten a wall tattoo?
I've got a million of them.
Me
Wall
too.
tattoo.
Just go in there and pick one from the wall. I've done it too.
And then you find the meaning for it later.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Do you get tattooed in New York?
I have, but mostly it was like out west, like in
Cool.
LA. A lot of tattoos out there.
Yeah.
And,
We were in Austin once when you got one.
I got one in Austin. Yeah. Let's see. It's like
Which one was it? I don't even remember anymore.
it was this one. This one.
It was the gun. Oh,
this
the flower.
Oh, cool.
This flower fist.
Right.
That's awesome.
And then after I got that, I started a band called Fistful of Mercy, unrelated.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. So
Right,
it's
and
like
that brought on the right.
yeah, I don't know. You kind of like
I think because I remember you. Now that you see that rose, I used it on the Fistful of Mercy like video. I don't know which.
Oh, you
came
did?
first. Yeah.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah, with Ben Harper and Danny Harrison, George
Awesome.
Harrison's kid.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was great. We would sing like harmonies, and it was like like Crosby, Stills, and Nash or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite musician?
I love Neil Young and Bob Dylan, Trent Reznor. I love Kurt
Yeah.
Cobain.
Yeah.
I love like Biggie and Tupac and Prince,
Totally.
Jimi Hendrix. And
Are you writing all these down? The list goes on
Yeah.
and on and on.
Classics.
what about you?
I really like Fleetwood Mac, Grateful Dead, Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
I like the Cockatoo Twins.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like the way that they have those beautiful melodies and the lyrics are kind of like not, or what are they, kind of made up, right? Or made up words or sounds.
Yeah.
They're not really, I don't know.
The first time I heard a song by them, I had heard it so many times, and I was like, I need to know who this is. I've heard it enough.
Right.
I need to know now.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
What about My Bloody Valentine?
I like them. I saw them live once in Los Angeles. That was fun.
They're incredible.
They like blew out the speakers. They're awesome.
Yeah. I got to meet him once, Kevin Shields, at a music festival, and he was playing with Primal Scream. You like Primal Scream?
I don't know them.
Oh, you should check them out.
Cool.
You would definitely like them. I can tell. I guarantee you would like them.
Cool.
And I was like, when are you going to put out a new album? He hadn't put out that new album
Right.
yet. And he was like, I don't know, I'm working on it. He was a super nice guy. We smoked a spliff together. You know what a spliff is?
Yes.
Well, some Americans don't know what that is.
I feel like everyone knows what that is.
I guess everyone knows what that is. But so, and then I was like, how do you make it sound so magical? Like, and he said, it's because I got this guitar with a tremolo, and so that's, everything's bendy.
Oh, cool.
Everything's like, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is the secret to it. It's all, I don't know, just moving in this strange way.
Totally. I feel like it's kind of like cooking too. It's like someone could make the same meal as someone else, but it's like the love that they're putting into it and the attention is just, it's different for some of those bands.
Right.
It's a nice comparison.
That is a good comparison.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As someone so young as you, these influences, is that for like it's like you were all over the place, from Sonic Youth, which somebody your age I would assume never even heard of, to Dead. Is it from home?
No, I think I was really into discovering new artists in high school. I've seen Sonic Youth like 3 or 4 times. I love them. But I was like, I got to start saying something else is my favorite band.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I've been saying it for too long.
Oh, it's the first time.
I once saw Thurston Moore and Yoko Ono perform at the Small Space in the Lower East Side.
The Stone?
I don't remember. I was in high school and I didn't know it was Yoko Ono, and I was like, who's this lady screaming?
She does scream.
Did you like it?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love Kim Gordon's book. Like I just big fan.
Yeah, that book, so it's about their divorce too, right?
Yeah, and what's cool about them is like every album is just such a different sound. Like you can pick anything for any mood that you're in. I don't know how into them you are, but
I like Dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them a lot. Yeah.
That was a 90s album, right?
Yeah. That was like when Nirvana was blowing up and all that.
Yeah, my favorite is Washing Machine. Do you know that one?
I think so.
It's so good. They're just great.
I played some shows with Lee Ronaldo.
That's cool. Yeah, he's
He's a sweet dude.
Yeah.
New York City.
Totally.
New York City staple.
That's awesome. It's one of those things, I don't really know that many band members of other bands, but in high school I loved Sonic Youth so much. My high school boyfriend I wish Kim Gordon would sing you to sleep. Like
So you guys were into them together.
Yeah, and then like obviously we broke up and it continued, but they're a special band for me.
Do you ever have any desire to make music?
Yeah, I've tried. Like I can kind of play guitar and I have a banjo and I took lessons, but I'm not very good. I like writing songs and I used to take voice lessons and stuff, but music is not something that comes, like guitar and stuff like that. It's not something that comes easily for me.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be good at it though.
I like that you said you tried.
I did try. I mean, I should continue.
Definitely continue to try. You're so young. It's like you got so much time.
Yeah.
It's a myth that life is short. It's also long.
Yeah, that's true.
And you'll see it's even longer than you think.
I mean, that's comforting. I mean, every night, the last few nights, my fiance and I are like, or like the last few weeks, like, wow, time just moves so quickly. And I'm like, well, it's slowed down.
Yeah.
So I think time like goes in and out of feeling like it's really fast and really slow.
How'd you meet your fiance?
I was shopping at Whole Foods, and he was also shopping at Whole Foods, and he walked over to me and asked me for my number.
Okay, listen up, gentlemen.
Yeah.
See what can happen.
It works.
If you that's amazing.
Yeah, it was
He
cool.
just came up. What did he say?
He's like, hey, you're really cute. Can I have your number?
Amazing.
Yeah. And you know what?
Amazing.
I had just come from a workout class. His 5-year-old niece was sleeping in his cart.
Wow.
But
How'd you know it wasn't his kid?
I thought maybe it was his kid.
Did you ask him?
Like later when we were texting, I asked him. But
Oh, okay.
Lose my number, buddy.
That is wild.
I was like, if it's his kid, that's fine.
Wow.
So you thought he was cute too right away?
Yes, I did. When I was shopping with my mom, actually, and I remember seeing him.
With your mom.
Yeah.
That's
He's so
This
bold.
guy's amazing.
I remember seeing him. He was like,
This guy's my new hero. I mean, and plus he's got the kid on board. Like
Right.
there's so
No
many.
fear.
Just as a guy, there's so many things like, oh, I want to say something, but she'll think this is my kid. Oh, but she's with another, like her mom or something. Like there's so many.
So much pressure.
There's so many. What do you call it? Like obstacles that
in
he
the way.
cleared.
Yeah. They had to
I
go
did
through.
see him at the meat counter, and I said to my mom, "Oh, that guy's cute." He was wearing overalls. I remember because
Maybe he heard you.
we were in Jersey, and it was in Jersey, and there are just not that many people with my style in Jersey. So like he stood out to me. I think I stood out to him too because of that.
I feel like I met you at the meat counter. It'd be like a song. I met you at the meat counter.
I was at the self checkout when he came up to me.
Self checkout. So, how much like did you guys notice you were looking at each other before he approached you?
I didn't think he noticed I was looking at him at all, and I don't think he did notice.
Right.
I was literally like, you know how Whole Foods has those like sushi things? I was literally walking around the aisle like eating sushi. Like I didn't
Right.
think that like anyone was about to ask me out. I
With
wasn't
your
wearing
mouth
makeup.
Right.
I remember walking and being like, well, I look like shit right now, but that's fine. I'm just going to buy some groceries.
I doubt you ever look like shit.
Thank you.
Yeah. So and he just said, "I think you're really cute. Can I get your phone number?"
Yeah. And then he texted me right away and was like, hey, like you're really pretty or something. And I was like, oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
See, because we're like guys are told that if you're too nice or if you do that, it could be like turn a woman off or something. But I guess it's all just
No,
how
I
you-
think it's good. Yeah. I think you should be assertive.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a tricky follow-up. then.
Okay.
Because you are cute and young, how many times do guys come up to you and ask for your number and you don't give it out?
I think in the past a lot. I really do feel like I give off like a taken vibe. Like no one's really come up to me and asked me out in a while. So, I mean, I also wear a wedding ring, so that helps.
Right.
But like in the past, people have definitely come up to me and I haven't followed up with them. But yeah, you got to take the risk.
So how long
Yes.
did you guys text back and forth before you went on your first date, and where'd you go?
We texted for maybe a few days, and we went to this like cafe called The Cliff in Jersey City. And it's actually really funny because I brought one of my mom's dogs, and the dog has like a GPS collar. And it wasn't on purpose, but he's like, are you trying to track me just in case?
Why would the dog's GPS collar track him?
Well, like I'm going on a date with someone that I don't know, so I have like a GPS on me, you know.
Oh, I see.
Her mom knows
Like
where
as
she is.
as a safety thing. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was like the best first date ever. Like
What made it great?
we just like connected, and okay, guys, take notes. We had been texting.
I'm over here.
We're both
Why do you
here.
think I'm going down this line of questioning? I want to know everything this player did.
So,
This guy's amazing.
He brought me like, you know what an oracle deck is? It's like a tarot deck, but it's not as specific.
Oh, right.
He brought me an oracle deck, and I was going through a hard time. He had like a little card, and he's like,
See, okay, I got to pause.
yeah.
That's right there. Genius
Yeah.
level move.
Yeah.
Because you like, if in case the date, I'm just picking up what he's putting down.
Right.
Like, in case there's that awkwardness, boom.
He got
whip out the
card.
Oracle deck,
Yeah.
and there's like fun vibes going on.
Yeah, and there's
We
like a
used to
little
have that
card.
What a
Podcast.
great trick right there.
We used to pull out the deck.
That's true. That was like when we first started this podcast. There was cards were always a thing,
Right.
and we should bring that back. That was a good
I think
bit.
they're still in the bins.
Are they?
Maybe.
Can you see? Can you grab them?
In a minute.
Okay, in a minute. So then what happened? So
I don't know. We just connected. Like we just were like attached to each other. We saw each other every day since then.
Wow.
that's amazing. Wow.
Move in right away?
We moved in pretty quickly. We moved in together maybe a year in.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a long time.
Maybe
That's
a
not
little
a long
less.
time. That's a good.
Maybe
That's,
9 months.
It's like you get along that well. 3 months in, you move in.
no.
That's my
That's
move.
too fast.
Nah.
Too fast.
Yeah, it's definitely the best relationship I've ever been in.
That's great.
so-
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been together?
Maybe a year and a half.
So out of that, 7 months is quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you guys do over quarantine?
It was good. If anything, it made it really hard when he went back to work.
What's he do?
He works at a motorcycle shop.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and he taught you how to ride a motorcycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody to teach me how to ride a motorcycle.
I don't know. I wouldn't let my daughter ride a motorcycle.
You wouldn't?
No, I feel they're so
Well, no,
dangerous.
they're called the donor cycles.
the donor
Right,
cycles.
right.
We're talking big bikes, right?
Yeah. How old's your daughter?
10.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know why you even brought that up. It's like, who's thinking your daughter is
When
going to get
Carmen
on a...
is that age and she says, Dad, my boyfriend got me a motorcycle, I'll be like, nope.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll make her want to ride a motorcycle more.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. You can't go against your...
Do your folks like the dude? What's his name?
His name is Jake. Yeah,
Jake.
they do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Can we have him on the next episode?
I know.
How old is he?
He's 36, and I am gonna be 26 next week.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
You guys seem like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about something you just said earlier about just being in comedy for like 3 years, give or take. And like when you mentioned your influences like Nikki Glaser, she's sort of also new on the scene.
Yeah.
Do you feel now that you're... It's a stupid question, but I don't know where you are on like the
There are no
comedy-
stupid
on
questions.
the comedy scale as far as, you know, comedian, not like made it, but like in the cellar, out of the cellar, where you feel you are as far like in the New York scene, if there is such a thing.
I didn't even understand that question.
I think she did.
I understand your question.
Okay, well-
You didn't do your research? No.
No, not on that.
I did a little bit.
I mean, I feel like I'm not at the cellar, obviously, but I'm past at a few clubs. I feel like I'm doing really good for where I am.
Well, you're still so young.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you're just getting
starting
started.
off, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like 3 years in, I'm in a great spot.
Yeah,
I'm
because
proud
I do
of myself.
see you in every, you know, I mean, when I first met you, it was through Sypha, who like recommended you as a great comedian, and you're already in good company.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to see a comedian early on in their career, like to see how either you feel like you're struggling or not, and what's the plan moving forward.
I guess the plan is to just keep going, to keep getting as much stage time as I can. I feel really happy. I think one of the best decisions that I made was to like produce shows, and that, you know, you have to create your own opportunities for yourself.
Well,
like,
you just said a great thing right there. You definitely do. All artists need to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to create your own opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel pretty happy. The only thing that I struggle with right now is like what is safe. You know, it's a time of COVID, and I think a lot of different people are pushing the boundaries, and I'm kind of in between that space where I'm figuring out what I'm comfortable doing. So,
What do you mean? Like in terms of getting together with people? Or?
like how many people in a room am I comfortable with? Like how many, like what indoors and what outdoors is a requirement for me to want to perform there?
Are you worried about getting COVID? Is that what it is?
Yeah, of course I'm worried about getting COVID.
I had it.
I know.
I got through it.
Yeah. I think that's like the biggest thing for me right now. Just making sure that I'm like taking appropriate precautions.
Yeah.
You've been doing mostly rooftops then over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I've been doing rooftops, backyards, park shows. I've done maybe two or three indoor shows. I feel like the City Winery show is amazing. I felt really safe. I felt really good. It's just shows that you haven't seen any photos of and you can't do any research for. You're kind of like, am I going to get there and regret this? So.
Right.
What was the worst outdoor one?
The worst outdoor show?
Yeah, I mean, for comedians, it's so hard.
It is hard.
It's just insane to think. Who was it? John Laster.
Yeah, he's
told
awesome.
that joke about having to do a show on the back of a pickup.
Right. That was a cool show, though.
Insane. Oh, you were there?
I wasn't there, but I know that it was a cool show. I've heard about it.
It's just the stuff they have to put you through. Like if I told you as a singer-songwriter, in order to perform, you got to go on the back of a pickup.
I would.
Well, but it's just not. It's just the level of insanity involved with trying to do your craft is just insane.
I mean, I've definitely, I live in Jersey. I've definitely traveled 2 hours to perform 6 minutes in front of 3 people. Like that's just part of it.
I've done that too. I've done that more times than I can count.
I don't know. That sometimes is difficult to like be like, all right, we're gonna do this. It's just part of it. It's just moving that muscle. Yeah.
I like it becomes a challenge in keeping your mind state positive. Even like I like going into those kind of situations. Like when I was younger, I used to get like all punk rock and pouty and mad at the universe, and I just was an idiot about it. Yeah. Now I take it as like, oh, this is a video game. It's a challenge to see how happy I can be to be here, and working on that muscle.
Yeah, and I also think it like gives me the freedom to try out new stuff and do whatever I want. Like sometimes I'm relieved when there aren't that many people because I'm like, I can just fuck around. This is nice.
Yeah. What's your writing process like?
Usually like I like think of premises as I'm like going about my life, and I like put them in my phone, and then I sit down and like write and flesh them out. What's
an example of like a premise?
I don't know. Like I'll think of a premise, just like an idea for a joke, like something that I thought was funny. Like, I have a joke that's like, I think my parents should pay for my therapy.
I like that.
Because
is that the premise right there?
That's like the
is
premise,
that the first idea that comes in? Like,
yeah, and then I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of like them not paying for my therapy is like going into a store, breaking everything, and making the owner pay for it.
Right.
So then I sort of flesh that out, and I think of like tags that'll come after it, and whatever. I don't know.
No, I just love hearing that because I don't write like that.
Right.
So I'm just curious as how comedians do it.
I mean, a lot of times it comes when I'm like, lately, if I'm doing like a Zoom show with 5 people in the audience, I'll fuck around and I'll tell a story and I'll be like, wait, that's actually really funny. Right. I'm going to build on that and turn that into a structured joke.
Huh. Do you know Mitch Hedberg?
Mm-hmm.
I like his joke about like sometimes I'm asleep at night or in bed at night and I think of something funny, but the notebook's all the way across the room. Yeah. So I either have to get up and write it down or convince myself that it isn't that funny.
I know. I think of things so much when I'm falling asleep, and I'm like,
funny.
If I don't write it down, I will not remember it.
Yeah. It's funny that whole writing things down. Others like with songs too, sometimes it's like, oh, I'll remember that. And then
definitely not. You will not remember that.
Yeah.
It is the worst too. I think when I'm falling asleep is definitely a time when things come to me.
Yeah. So what's the punchline of the whole? I think my parents, is it that going into the store and breaking everything?
It's a short little joke.
And no, it's a good one.
Yeah,
and then what are the tags at the end of that? Is there one?
No, that's
Not
just
really?
like a cute little joke.
Yeah.
I guess one that I came up with during like a Zoom show was about like how Jake, my fiance, proposed.
Mm-hmm.
He proposed in the middle of crazy sex, right?
Oh, really?
Yes. And
God, this guy, he just keeps getting better and better.
It's funny.
So
Fucking hats off, Jake, okay?
he's great. So that
Yeah.
was that was wound up being super funny when I told that story. And then I was doing a show.
What's that story?
It's just like, you know, we weren't at like some romantic place in Hawaii. I
Right.
was in a basement,
Right.
you know, doing
Yeah.
some kinky shit.
Right.
And I was doing this show at a strip club in Jersey, in the backyard of a strip club. And I did the joke, and then I walked off stage, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to end it by saying the safe word was yes. And then now,
That's
He
great.
thought of everything, Jake.
and now that joke is like, it's just a perfect, like I can rely on that joke. Like as a comedian, you want to have a few things in your pocket that you can rely on, and that's one of them now.
Right. I get you on that. That's relatable to music. You have your go-to songs that are
Right.
like, oh, I'm nervous, but I got, pull the parachute out.
The
Yeah,
hits.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you have those things that it's like they get consistent laughs. So if they don't get a laugh, you're like, oh, okay, it's not me. So I don't have to take this personally.
Right.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
This crowd sucks.
Not that you don't have to be like that, but it's like, okay, if they're not going to laugh at that when I've done that hundreds of times and it works, then I don't have to get in my head about them being tight or whatever.
How do you deal with that when the room is like, when you tell a joke like that and the room is quiet, it goes over your head, or do you like inside it's like a soul sucking moment?
I think people like to see that you're having a hard time. Like when a joke doesn't work and you're like, oh, I want to get run over by a truck. Thanks, guys.
See, I love that awkwardness too. I lean into it. Like
Yeah.
when things get awkward, then my way of dealing with that is to make it way more awkward.
Right.
To like exaggerate the awkwardness and just let
Totally.
all of us sit there. Cuz I think that's funny. You know.
Totally. I mean, yeah, awkwardness when you own it,
Right.
people love it. I mean, that's what all like indie coming of age movies are about, like someone that's awkward that like goes into their own skin. People relate to feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and vulnerability is power.
Yes.
Brene Brown. How'd you get into the acting? Do you want to do movies and stuff like that? Or you still have acting ambitions?
Yeah, I've definitely just focused on comedy really for the last few years. But yeah, if anyone's watching this, I'd love to star in your movie.
You have an agent?
I don't. I had a manager, but things didn't work out. So I'm just auditioning for some stuff. Like sometimes casting directors will reach out to me, but otherwise, just got to keep pushing.
Do you use things you learn in acting school in your comedy routine or anything like that? Do you think it's carried over?
Yeah, I mean, they're just basic principles that I think are ingrained in me. I went to the Stella Adler Conservatory, and that's really about like your stage presence, like being in touch with your body. Like there's movement classes, voice and speech. I think those are so important for comedy. I've definitely seen people that are really funny, but their writing is good, but I have no idea what they're saying.
What do you mean they don't know how to carry themselves on stage?
Yeah, and they don't know how to articulate. Like that in itself, as a musician is an art.
So true. Yeah. Bob Dylan is really good at that. Just articulating the words so they're clear. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just understanding, I think stage presence and confidence is the biggest thing as a performer.
What do you do to like prepare yourself to get on stage? Do you have like a meditation routine or deep breathing or anything like that?
I look at my set list and then I go on stage.
So not really.
No, I just try to stay positive. I try not to I always like to watch the person before me and kind of just like feel the vibe of the room. Sometimes I convince myself that I have to pee and I don't have to pee, but otherwise.
So you don't get too nervous?
No.
I do all kinds of things. I'll like stand on my head. I'll like do
Wow.
emotional freedom tapping, or this.
Cool.
Like, do you ever do that?
Yeah.
You know that thing? EFT.
Like here, yeah.
Yeah. Do that, stuff like that. But
It's different. I mean, you like to be alone, not to be bothered before a show, and like as his tour manager, like, okay, like half hour before, everyone out, and like just
Interesting.
he's got to like clear his head before going out, which is different. Like seeing comics, you guys just hang out backstage, and like 2 minutes before you go on, okay, it's your turn, and you run out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of.
Yeah.
It's like whatever happens. It has no impact on me whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean.
Whereas at a music show, you kind of want it to succeed in a way, right?
Right.
Where as comedy is worst case, I'm working on my material, see what works, see what doesn't, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything I've learned, it's that nothing matters. So that's liberating. Just have fun on stage. And I think as long as you're in a good mood, you're trying to have fun, you think your own shit is funny, then everyone else will have a good time.
I like that. Nothing matters.
Yeah.
How'd you learn that?
How'd I learn that?
It's like a Zen Zen enlightenment thing you're saying right there.
Yeah, oh, thank you. I don't know. It's just the truth. It's just nothing matters.
Where do you think you got your personality from and your confidence? Your mom or your dad?
Maybe a mix. Probably my confidence from my dad. I think my confidence came from comedy. As an actor, I wasn't that confident, and when I started doing comedy, I felt really confident, and I think because I have worked so hard, I feel confident. I'm like, I've worked my fucking ass off. Yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But
yeah, it's good. You need to get that mental attitude.
Yeah, when you bust your ass for something, it's not a question of confidence because you trust the work that you've done.
And working, by work you mean just doing lots of sets.
Doing sets, like being in shit situations because you want to perform, like.
Right.
Like what?
Just.
Back to the question, what was the worst?
The worst situation? I don't know. I think it really comes down to like the times that you perform for one or two people in the cold, in a park.
What about all the Zoom stuff and all that? Are you like finding new things to develop and build because of the nature of the performance space is so different?
Yeah, I like Zoom. I don't mind it. I think it's a really great tool. I think it's awesome, and you don't have to leave your house.
But are you developing in a different way than you would if you were just like crowd like?
I think that I feel slightly more comfortable on Zoom to just fuck around and be myself.
Right.
And I honestly want to bring that comfortability to the stage.
So that's good. Yeah. That's interesting.
How does a Zoom comedy show actually work?
You have a host like any show, and you're like, welcome to the show, blah, blah, blah. They do their set, and then you do your set. It's just.
But who do you see on screen? Do you see everyone, the audience? Do you see like 10 squares?
Yeah, I mean, I like to tell people to turn on their cameras and like their sound, because when it's off, it feels awkward. But if you can see people smiling and laughing, then it's fine.
Interesting.
Is anybody doing like an open mic Zoom show?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I haven't done any, but I know people are doing it.
Maybe I should sign up for one of them.
That's a good, yeah.
Or can I get on your comedy show?
At the winery?
Yeah.
You could open. I mean, if you play and then just do your banter in between and tell jokes, that's an easy in.
Yeah. What's your birth sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, I don't know anything about
What are
that.
you?
Libra.
You're a Libra. Okay.
Libra.
What are you?
Gemini.
Okay.
A Libra and a Gemini.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Changing the world one pot at a time.
I honestly, this might be crazy, but I feel like a lot of comedians are fire signs, which is Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. That stuff's fascinating to me. My friend started this app called The Pattern.
I know Pattern, yeah.
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 That's amazing, that app.
It's cool.
Yeah.
What does it do?
It just gives you
It
a
just
clear...
reads you the daily horoscope?
No, you put in your birth time, every detail about your birth, where you were born, the time, and it's just super accurate.
It's your birth chart, essentially.
It's your
It's like
birth
an
chart.
app reading your birth chart.
Yeah, but it's really
Well, here's the question.
shockingly
as far as
like,
markability, you use it once and then you don't ever have to use it again.
no, you could. What do you mean? Life
if
keeps
I get
going.
my birth.
No, because it continues
it
on.
continues
Like
to give me updates.
gives you updates on what's going on now.
I see.
Right. There's like your birth chart in this moment, and like there's a birth chart from when you're born.
I see. I see.
Yeah, and now they're going more towards a dating app with it.
Really?
Yeah, that's where it's going.
She's
Well, I think
like-
but it's awesome because then you get to put in like how compatible you are and all that stuff. But I like the old school way you guys did it.
Yeah.
Just go to Whole Foods.
Just go shopping.
Yeah. So do you think NYC is dead?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so.
For anyone listening, not watching, she has a hat on that says NYC is dead.
Yes, it is from a stand-up comedy show run by two of my really good friends. They're awesome, and Drexton and Eitan, they have a show.
Eitan?
And, yeah, they have it.
Israeli.
Yes, they have it in the park in
Eitan.
Central Park, and they're cool. They're killing it. They're selling beanies, and I think it's a play on NYC is dead because it's
Yeah.
not dead.
No, I don't think
Not
so either.
the
I actually
least.
like it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like the more sort of emptiness of it. There's I feel like there's like pluses to what's going on.
Like
too.
what?
I mean, that's weird
Less
to say.
tourists.
That's weird to say. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
There's
start
just
with that.
something, just less people. It's kind of, it's nice to be here for right now. To me,
Okay.
I'm not like happy about what's going on.
Of course.
Don't cancel me because I said that.
I like the outside dining, the European vibe
It is.
going on.
Yeah.
Less people for sure.
Yeah.
But if you live in certain areas in the city and you just go outside and let's say you see past the face masks, everything is the same, is kind of normal.
Yeah.
I don't
In
know.
a way, the day to day, like the traffic, the stores, the people, the vibe. I mean,
Yeah.
the city doesn't feel different. At least I live in Tribeca now.
Okay.
He's in the East Village. You go out at night, it's full of life. It's
Right.
I don't know. No, it's not.
Depending on what areas. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's
I don't What were you about to say though?
I don't know. I think it's a little depressing right now.
Yeah.
I feel like
definitely.
one of my favorite things about New York was just like you just not knowing what you're doing and aimlessly having a day. And I feel like that's not really possible the same way anymore.
That's so true about New York. So many times I've gone out, like,
Well,
and
going
come-
out is not
and-
possible at
and-
night. You're right.
and
Except
come
for
home.
that. But
So many times I've gone out and just come home like 3 days later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and had a whole adventure.
Of course. Yeah.
New York is the best for that.
Yes, it is. It's a magical place for sure.
I don't know. I love the city still. I don't feel depressed by it.
I'll always live in New York. I'm from here, but I don't know. I think it's making me want to live in a more suburban place.
Yeah. Well, the city's
Jersey.
the city's scary. It's scary,
It's scary and
And also what could happen, like if they lock it down again and people start rioting and going homeless and all that.
do you think there'll be another lockdown?
I think so. I don't know. I really don't know, but it seems like that's the direction things are being pushed in.
I don't think it's gonna pass.
Everyone I feel like a week ago thought there would be a lockdown by now, and there isn't one.
No.
So it's crazy.
There'll be new regulations. They'll keep closing, opening, but a full lockdown, I don't.
Right.
I don't think so.
Well, we know so much now that we didn't know before, and I think that makes people less scared.
Yeah, like what do you mean?
Like, I think people are taking less extreme measures now. Before it was like, oh, wiping down your groceries, wearing gloves,
Right.
and
Wearing gloves.
I don't really see that anymore.
Would you take a vaccine?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
No doubts about it. You're fine.
I mean, I take the flu vaccine every year.
Yeah.
Would you take a vaccine?
I'm not a big fan. Mm-hmm. I'm not, I mean, I already had it, and so I have the antibodies and all that. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's just scary to me, the whole...
It's scary, yeah.
There's enough controversy around it to where it's like, it's... And you're not really allowed to question it on some level already, which is also, to me, scary. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, really, you can't even question this, like, without being majorly controversial. And that, to me, is like an unhealthy dynamic. It's like if you're in a relationship with somebody that you can't approach a subject.
Yes.
Can't bring something up.
It's like my relationship with the world, and I can't approach that subject. Like,
It's like they're very defensive about it.
It's very defensive, and it's like, oh, if you like have like any kind of like, speaking about against it, you're like considered outrageous.
I mean, I understand. It's just a fucked up time, and you just got to take it a day at a time. Who knows when we'll even get access to it? So it doesn't even feel relevant to me right now. I don't feel like anytime soon I'm gonna even have the option to get the vaccine.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody just had it yesterday, or
really?
Well, they're starting in the UK.
In the UK
this week or next week.
Yeah, so it might be.
But it's like healthcare workers, older people first. Like it's gonna be a long process. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's uninformed of me to think.
Yeah. What's your workout routine?
I don't have one.
You don't?
No.
You don't do anything?
No.
No jogging?
Me neither, Poppy.
Yoga?
No.
No yoga, huh?
I mean, yoga is awesome, but I don't have the discipline to do it by myself.
What about meditation?
I meditate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, it's embarrassing. I do use meditation apps if I meditate.
Why is that embarrassing?
I don't know. Like, it's not cool.
Do they work?
Why is that not cool?
I mean, they work, yeah, but it's like...
a meditation app is not cool?
No, definitely not
I highly
cool.
disagree.
Okay. Do you have some money invested?
Yes, I do. No.
You meditate with YouTube videos?
Yeah, I'm like super cheesy with all that stuff.
Yeah.
I listen to I try to reprogram my subconscious mind.
I mean, you have a very calm vibe.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
It's good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's because of the kratom.
No, dude.
Or the 2 coffees I got you.
No, you're very thoughtful.
Well,
chill,
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm stuck now.
Speaking of podcasts, you started your own.
Oh, yeah.
Recently.
I did something crazy, and I started 2 podcasts at the same time.
Oh, 2? I just know of one.
I have a podcast, the one that I started myself with my really good friend, Amanda Gale. She's also a comedian. It's called Thirst Trap, and that one we're recording every week. It's just bullshit. We just shoot the
Like
shit.
girl talk, but is
6 or
it
7
sexually?
episodes,
Is it
right?
sexually oriented?
Yeah.
What is Thirst Trap?
Thirst
Sorry
Trap?
for my ignorance.
Because it's like if somebody's like posing on Instagram with like all their hotness on display, that's called a thirst trap.
Right. It's like a sexy photo.
Sexy photo.
We talk about social media. Like we read our funny DMs that we get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like
People
it's fun.
sliding into your DMs?
Yeah, I put them on blast.
Oh, you do? Do you call out their names?
No.
Okay.
That's like text from my ex.
Tell
That's
stories.
nice of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because our followership is predominantly male. So we're thinking about, how to angle that. So it's fun. It's a good time. It's just
so a thirst trap is a photo that's purposely done.
Like when I pose without a shirt on.
Right. Okay.
That's a thirst trap. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
That's a thirst trap.
I wasn't familiar with the term. I thought it was like clickbait.
Teach you everything.
It's more
here.
just like it's social media, like do's and don'ts. It's supposed to feel like you're just hanging out with us.
What's the do's and don'ts of social media?
There's so many.
I mean, I didn't even know meditation apps weren't cool.
I guess they're cool.
I need to learn.
I mean, hey, they're cool. I feel like.
Give me one do and don't.
Okay. One don't would be.
I bet I've done it.
For sure.
I'm for sure.
I don't know. I think when people post too many times in a day,
I've done it.
I think
Guilty.
that's
Guilty.
not good for growing a following.
Why
Right,
not?
once a day is. I keep to once a day.
I think is
once
good.
a day, one photo. Not
Yes.
even ones where you can scroll through.
You can do the scrolly ones, but I
yeah.
think
You really think once a day?
Yeah.
What about the Gary V approach
Overload.
of just like,
whenever you
Gary,
want. What does he do?
Yeah, I don't know. He just seems to be like, go, do a lot.
I think like people who follow you like once a
Start
day.
getting pissed off.
You're over like don't put out too many songs at once when you record. You
Right.
want to do like a song a month.
I definitely am an over poster. I post.
I mean, I like when other people overpost. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
I think.
What's a do? What's a do?
Post once a day.
No, but
I'm joking.
I think you should maybe interact with the comments on your photos, like
I do
reply
that.
to them.
I
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I feel
good
weird
with that.
doing that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't have a lot of followers or anything.
Yeah.
But when people comment, maybe I'll click the heart. But I feel like replying is kind of.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll click the heart. That's
Yeah.
That's an automatic
That's a
for
don't.
me. No, you don't.
No, click the heart.
Yeah, click the heart.
You have to click the heart.
You have to
Well,
click
but you
the
guys
heart.
are in a different
Bro.
realm than me, dude. I have whatever.
Throw away. Maybe I'll click the
Okay,
heart.
so always click the heart.
Always click the
Okay,
heart,
okay. It's
unless
rude
they
to not click the heart.
unless they say something gnarly to you or something.
Right.
And even then, click the heart
the
because
heart.
it shows you're above it.
Yes.
And then I'm engaging.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
I actually read my.
That's a minimal
comments.
engagement.
Okay, you're right.
Although I've gone through many times where I would just like do the hand grenade style, like throw the grenade into the room and then
Yeah.
like not look at it
That's
ever
fun
again.
too.
I like that approach.
I like that as well.
I used to only do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever I put something out there, I feel so vulnerable that I want to check it a bunch.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you get like the doubts.
Not the doubt. I don't know. It's like
the need for approval.
Do you smoke weed?
I don't smoke weed.
Oh, okay, because I do here and there on occasion.
on occasion?
And if I like post something and then smoke weed,
No.
I'm like I freak out that I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I overthink it.
I can't smoke weed because I'm already like that.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot about the post before I put it up. So I'll only post something if I'm 100% like it.
Right.
What are the do and don'ts on deleting posts?
I mean, delete whatever the fuck you want.
Delete whatever
Yeah.
the fuck you
No,
want.
no.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Delete.
You don't think you should delete posts?
I don't know.
whatever.
I'm just curious what the expert has to say. I'm
I'm not
trying
an
to get some
expert,
tips
but
here.
I think I do think that I'm pretty good at social media.
I gotta follow you.
Yeah.
Maybe I already do. I don't know if I followed you yet, but
You could follow, and your podcast has an Instagram page,
yes.
and you have an Instagram page.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a magazine involved.
So I have a magazine.
classy and trashy.
Classy Trashy magazine, and then we have a podcast that's sponsored by like a tattoo bomb company.
Amazing. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
So-
what's that podcast called?
That podcast is Classy Trashy Podcast, and we interview different tattoo artists. So,
That's fun. That's
Nice.
cool. That's a good idea.
yeah, it's fun.
I've never heard of that before, like a tattoo oriented podcast. I'm
Right.
sure they have
But do you
them.
do it all from home?
We've only interviewed one artist so far, and we did that at their studio.
Oh,
So
so you go to them and it's audio,
it's audio, yeah.
and the other pod, the Thirst Trap.
The other one, we do from home together. It's just the two of us. Unless we have a guest, we'll do it on Zoom. But
And then is the idea to get free tattoos? Yeah, I saw you. That's a clear yes. I saw it go over your
No,
face.
no,
It was
no.
like,
Tattoo shop, interview him here. Why don't you try like this one?
I'm sure you'll get a ton.
I mean, I definitely want to pay people for their work.
Or
However,
like get like bro rates.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, that's not the reason. Like, we were approached by this company and decided to collaborate with them. But
That's cool. Are you gonna go on your neck?
I
That was my next question.
Really?
No, it wasn't.
It was like what do you happens when you run out of space? Like like how high do you go?
I don't
I have
know.
2 tattoos on my neck.
You do?
Uh-huh.
I can't see them.
I know. They're really small. This one.
Circle or something?
It's like it's like a cherry.
I don't see it. Oh, it's in the
I
back.
have a word on the back.
Okay, cool. What word?
Free.
Oh, cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would definitely do the back of my neck. I don't know yet. I
Yeah.
mean, I want to.
What about face?
No, I would not do my face.
Not going there.
No.
I do like face tattoos on other people.
Ugh, terrible.
Sometimes.
I think it's really cool.
Like who other than Tyson? Who else has a good face tattoo that you like?
If you have bangs and you get it like on your forehead, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Like a secret tattoo.
Well, then that's bangs for life. That's not good
no,
either.
I mean, I think the hairline. I think that's fucking cool.
What about the guys who have it like shave their head, get the tattoo, and then the hair grows back?
That's cool, but isn't your hair gonna grow all the way back and you won't see it?
And you won't see it yet?
Like, you know,
I don't know.
all that pain for no one to see it.
The face tattoos is just like talk about regret. Like even you talked about having tattoos and then did you have them removed or just
I've had some covered up, yeah.
Covered up. Is that like a hard decision to make?
No.
It's just like, and then cover it up with anything, or you have something in mind, you try to make it into something else. It's sort of kind of being forced to have a tattoo that maybe you didn't want to get.
I just think it's funny. Like I think one of my cover-ups that's kind of just like a blob is funny.
A blob?
Yeah, it's supposed to be cigarette smoke coming from a cigarette, but it's like a blob. I think that's funny. I don't know.
And then on the magazine, I was going through the website. Mm-hmm. It's an online magazine, right?
There's a digital copy and there is a hard copy.
There is a hard copy. Mm-hmm. And it's all bikes. And I mean, I love some of the naming of the products. There was
Thank you.
there was Pussy and Gasoline.
Those candles are fun, yeah.
I thought that was a hand sanitizer.
There's both.
Oh, Pussy and Gasoline is a hand sanitizer and a candle.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the magazine's awesome.
And it's going well. Like people are.
Yeah.
I guess it's catered to the biker community.
It is. It's actually going super well. I'm going to send a bunch to Australia. They're going to distribute some. Like we've got distributors in Canada. Like it's actually going pretty
It's
good.
done very well.
Thank you.
The design and the look and the whole
it's all
thing.
me, baby. No.
Really?
I mean, Jake does a lot of it too, but ever since he
I'm
started.
talking about the website. I went to see their products and they got like some great names.
It's
for
amazing how entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
I can't say the word. Entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
How do you say that word?
Entrepreneurial? I don't know.
Entrepreneurial. Yeah, she is.
Entrepreneurial.
How much of an entrepreneur you are.
Well, Jake does do a lot of it too. We do it together.
Where do you get that energy from, or where did you get that motivation? Because that's kind of rare, I feel like, for especially somebody as young as you.
I don't know. I think, you know how they call it like your flow, like the times where time doesn't really feel like a thing.
Oh hell yeah!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the best when you're like making an album and you're
Right.
super involved in a creative project, and how that bends time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that when I create things that like it's a creative outlet for me
Yeah.
I want to be my own boss, and it's like I don't feel like time exists when I'm working on the magazine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know I was with a friend last night, and he's going through some like spiritual awakening. He's like, thank you. Like he's like praying all the time and talking about gratitude every step of the way. And then he started crying. You could just tell he's going through a really wild time. And he was like, I just don't know what to do with my life. And I'm like, well, you gotta you gotta give yourself a project,
Right.
and a purpose
A
driven
hobby.
motivation, not a hobby, like a project, like what
Yeah.
you're talking about, because that gives you like such a relief place in the chaos of life to sort of focus that energy onto something.
Totally. I'm a very anxious person, and I think the most important thing for me is redirecting that energy.
Yeah.
So I think I would do that with comedy a lot before the pandemic, but now it's kind of limited in how much I can push myself.
Yeah.
So I just started finding other avenues for it.
That's cool. Do you ever have moments of like where you go like, do you have the shadow side come in and mess with you, or do you have like any sort of self-sabotaging things that you do?
Yeah, I think sometimes when something doesn't get to the point I want it to in terms of like being successful, I could be more patient with it. You know, I feel like I give up on things sometimes if they're not immediately perfect.
Yeah, that's I'm bringing up Gary Vee again, but that's like his big message. I like that too, because I agree. He's gotten older, and so he's got a lot of young followers, and he tells them like, you got so much time, you have to be super patient, and he's really right about that.
Yeah. I think with acting, like something that I've observed in my life is that I really do feel like it takes 10 years to make it. I really feel like it takes that long for a lot of people, at least. Yeah. Like if you're like from the moment you start auditioning, I think, you know, it takes so much longer than people think. We're just exposed to all these overnight stories, and it's not real.
Even those overnights are not really overnights.
Yeah.
They're longer.
They want you to think that it's an overnight thing.
Before that overnight were 10 years of like struggle.
And it's so ridiculous because the reason that they want you to think that it's an overnight thing is because then it makes other people feel like they can do it, right? And I don't know. It's just weird. Wouldn't we want to applaud someone for their like 30 years of busting their ass instead of the person that just woke up one day as a famous person?
I hope so, because I'm on the 30-year plan.
How many years
I've been on the 30-year plan. I'm like,
Right.
still on it. But yeah, it's like I get into like, similarly to like leaning into the awkwardness of a performance situation. I like leaning into the fact that it does take so long.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like proud of the fact that
Totally.
even though I've been doing this so long, I'm still going or something, like,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, not giving up.
Definitely.
Do you have a spiritual practice or any kind of like belief in God or anything like that that informs you?
I would like to build a spiritual practice. I don't have a strong one right now.
Right. Do you pray or anything? Or do you believe in God?
I was raised without religion.
Me too.
And I think I'm in the process of discovering what's true for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I applaud that.
How are you doing that? Just it's happening.
I'm trying to read some stuff, trying to expose myself more to like other resources that will help me figure out what resonates with me.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Satanic Bible.
Wait a minute. This went into. Hold on. Wait.
No. I have been reading that. I think that there's.
What's the Satanic Bible?
There's like a lot about. It's not like anti.
It's more like self-empowerment.
Yeah, it's a self-empowerment, and there's that book. I don't know the names of these things. There's like a bunch of fucking books I have at home. I look at them.
But you're reading that because you feel you're missing something, or you're just curious about it?
I would like to feel more unity with the rest of the world. You know?
What do you mean?
I would just like to feel like I wasn't this like isolated, floating piece of flesh.
Right.
Feel like you belong more.
I guess,
or understand.
Yeah, or just that, you know, life and death is like more of a process that is like, I want to feel the bigger picture of life and death instead of feeling like, oh, life is just so short and then you die.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, like that feeling, that like oneness with everything.
Right.
I like the thing where it's like there's something in you that's eternal and unchanging, and if you like think about yourself from like when you were a little girl to now, what was there then that has been unchanging all the way till now? There's like this witness.
Yeah.
You know? It's like when you go like, oh, I'm afraid, and then you ask yourself, who's afraid? And then you ask yourself, who's asking who's afraid, you know?
Yeah, it gets pretty trippy.
Yeah, you can get trippy with it.
I mean, yeah, I think there's something really comforting about, it's just like a bigger sense of empathy, I feel.
Yeah, empathy is being attacked, I think, in general.
It's sad.
Yeah, I definitely pray a lot and have like leaned on that for this whole journey.
Yeah.
And I really don't know how people do this without that.
No, and I think that people that aren't very empathetic, they also imagine that everyone else thinks the way that they do. So they become more defensive in their lifestyle. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like if, for example, if I hate everyone, then I also think that everyone hates me.
Right.
And that affects the way that I live. Whereas if I'm like empathetic towards other people, then naturally I'm going to imagine that other people are going to feel that way towards me, and I'll probably be more comfortable in my life.
Right. Yeah. Do you know anything about narcissistic personality disorder?
What are you trying to tell me?
NPD.
Why?
Well, because we're talking about empathy, and
Yeah.
the sort of the cornerstone of MPD is a lack of empathy.
Okay.
You know, it's the inability to empathize with
Yeah.
others, and it makes for evil behavior.
Yeah, I mean, do you think a lot of people have that?
Do I?
Do you think a lot of people have that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think it's like the sort of, I think our time is like surrounded by that.
Have you ever dated someone with that?
Of course. Yeah.
That's the only reason you know about. No. It's the reason that you discover it, for sure.
It's the reason I discovered it is because you start Googling, like, you know,
what is wrong with this
silent
person?
treatment, like, or things that are going on in your relationship, or it drives you to Google, and then you discover narcissistic personality disorder, and you like read all what makes up that.
Right.
I'm having a hard time speaking today. I don't know why.
I totally get it.
But it's just real interesting because, like what you're saying, we tend to assume or project whatever we are onto everything around us.
Right.
So if you don't operate that way in terms of trying to tear other people down to get some kind of supply for yourself, then the concept that people do that is just beyond your view. You don't really, you can't believe people actually do that. And then when you discover it and you're like, oh, some people, their whole life is made up of that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But I also, like, you know, to extend beyond that, feel empathy for those people because they're not having a good time.
That's true.
Like, it sucks to feel that way.
Right. And it's coming from a place of, of
pain, for sure.
Of desperation and pain. Sounds like you know a lot about this too.
You know, I've dated my fair share of assholes.
Right. Yeah. How do you guys keep your relationship? Do you do anything like, like keep a relationship journal, or like actively work on like saying, hey, like there's these things you can do where you like look at each other and say what you like about each other? Or do you have any sort of practices together that are like that?
I think that we're pretty like complimentary of each other regardless and stuff like that. And I think the biggest thing for us is just like communicating with each other without emotion. And I think that's probably our practice. Like if someone upsets the other person, which you're going to, learning how to communicate that without having like anger behind it.
Right. So you have to give it time, I guess. Maybe
give it time, and it's just awareness.
Right.
That, that's something that I do. So next time this feeling comes up for me, how can I communicate it without it being clouded by anger?
Right. Do you want kids?
I do want kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait till you're 35.
No,
35.
That's my recommendation.
I think 30 is good.
If you say you're on a 10-year plan to make it, then enjoy your success for 5 years and then have kids.
I really want kids.
Okay.
30's all right.
30's fine.
30, like back in the day, it'd be like.
Back in the day at 18, you would have kids. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, my mom was 38 when she had me.
See?
But here's the thing. I had always wished that she had me a little younger
Earlier.
because I want her to be around for as long as possible.
Yeah, but there's also, my girlfriend, her mother had her at 18.
Mm-hmm.
So then you
It's the
end
flip
up
side.
you end up having when she was 20, her mother was 40, and you're still a little bit of a kid, and to have a kid when you're a kid, it's nice that when you grow up, yes, your mother is there, but there's also something about what you have to give up once you have kids.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying just have fun and just get everything out of the way.
No, but live your life. Yeah.
But there is a lot, and life is short, but it is long. And 25 is so
it's
young.
Long. It's long. But
so
30's
young.
fine, dude.
I know,
30's
but
like a great time.
I think the biggest thing for me is like
Did you just pull those out?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
being financially prepared for a kid. I think that's going to be
That's the number one rule. Don't
the
have a kid if you don't
biggest
have money.
thing that I want to ensure before I have a kid.
Yeah, I know, because it's a nightmare with if you're struggling with
The kid
that.
will suffer from it if you
Yeah.
can't. Where did you get those?
All
Were
right.
they in the thing?
Pick a card and see what it says. Yeah, it was in the thing.
What is guaranteed to bring you happiness?
Ooh.
Nice.
Is that for me to ask?
Yeah, or no, for you to answer.
answer.
To answer? What is guaranteed to bring me happiness? I would say food and sex.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
concur with that.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
That's a good answer. Let's see. Is zero waste or sustainable consumption
Next.
ableist? Why or why not? I don't even know
What that means.
what that means.
Next. That's why I said next.
That sucks.
You should just throw that card out so it doesn't come up again.
There, I ripped it up. So
These
that-
cards haven't been out in more than a year.
Interesting. These are not oracle cards, by the way.
No, I know.
No.
We have oracle
We
cards.
had dragon cards. If I
We have
remember.
dragon oracle cards. we
Very
have all
cool.
kinds. These ones. What was the next one?
Would you choose one? Time travel or eternal youth? Why?
Is eternal youth eternal life, or is just
Yeah.
eternal youth?
I guess
guess it
so.
would
Or do
be.
you stay young until you die at a normal age?
I go with eternal youth.
I don't really know why I would want to time travel.
Yeah.
But
I will point to Back to the Future too, and would time travel.
you would.
Back, get that almanac, get rich, and then go back and live like
That's not
I mean,
not a bad plan.
I'm not saying
But
I'm
with
Biff,
but with
but I
eternal
would-
with eternal youth, you could do so much.
or you would time travel to the future where like you don't need eternal youth because they already figured out how you
Right.
live forever, and then you have all that money from the past, and then you're set.
All right.
Wow, good argument.
I can't. I'm not going to go against it.
Cool. I'm not gonna pick a card.
I'll pick one for you. I wish I could share blank with humankind.
Oh man, to rip that one up as well.
No, that's a good one.
What do you mean? I wish I could share it with you.
What would you?
I wish
share
I
with
could
your-
share blank with humankind. Like you got to fill in the word what you would share with humankind.
That they don't already have?
I don't know. It didn't say that. Didn't have that note on the
No,
card.
I mean,
What would you say?
First thing that comes to mind is love.
Oh,
I know it's
such a hippie.
such a
That's a very
sweetheart.
hippie, but it is the first thing that came into my mind.
Your
Yeah.
music. I mean, you're already doing
That is
it.
love, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And your art, and
yeah.
me, my videos. I don't know.
What's something else that you are interested in pursuing outside of comedy and acting and that kind of
and
stuff?
magazines and podcasts.
Not that you need something more, but
I also I have an Etsy where I've had it for the past 5 years.
Wow.
And I do like custom embroideries for people.
That's
and
cool.
that's like yeah.
On what?
I guess it's art, so I don't know if it counts. But on like canvas.
Oh.
So like some people send me pictures of their dogs or like their boyfriend or a random thing they want, and yeah.
So you draw when.
I usually like trace their image and then I like stitch it.
that's cool. Your parents must be proud of you.
Do you hear that, Mom and Dad? No,
They should be.
Send them this podcast.
I don't know. Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, okay.
I hope so.
No, it was tense.
No, I think they're proud of me
Yeah.
for sure. They probably wish that I made more money, but
You're 25 and you're like a business lady
Thank
across the
you.
board. It's like, what do
Yeah.
you want? It's like you're definitely, there's nothing I'm very optimistic for your future.
Thank you. That
Yeah.
makes me feel good.
I mean, so many people are just completely aimless and lost. If you even have something you're passionate about, that's like success. Success is the steady progression towards like a worthy goal.
Okay.
That's the definition from according to Earl Nightingale.
Huh.
You should check out this video on YouTube called "The Strangest Secret" by Earl Nightingale.
Okay, what is it?
It's just like this 19-minute long speech he gives, but it's so profound and really great towards just like, reprogramming your subconscious mind towards success and, just keeping yourself into a good state.
That's awesome.
I have to work on that stuff really hard.
Yeah.
But like that's why I have all these practices and stuff, because I feel like I need to reprogram my mind. My mind's natural gravity was really dark and depressing and all this, and a lot of like poor self-talk. So it's been a process of like changing that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work. It's a lifelong practice.
It's a lifelong practice. Do you have that same sort of situation going on, or is your head pretty good?
I think, like I said, I have pretty bad anxiety, and I think my downfall would be like a lot of what ifs come into my head. Like I'm always thinking of the worst case scenario.
Yeah, fear.
And so I have some workbooks and stuff like that I use.
Yeah. Did you ever check out The Artist's Way?
No.
It's a cool book, and they do this thing called morning pages, where you write 3 pages in the morning first.
That's
thing,
cool.
just of gibberish.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And it sort of like clears out the vibe, so you can start writing other things that are deeper.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
it's like stream of consciousness.
Total.
That's an amazing practice. If I fucking did that every day, I just feel like
let's do it. Let's start.
Yeah.
I'll start tomorrow.
What I need to work on is just like acceptance. Like I can't determine the future. I'm here now. Whatever happens, happens. I think that would be my biggest feat.
That's when I go to prayer.
Yeah.
I ask for guidance and help with that. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't understand how people can do it without having that sort of
Do you pray to like a
blanket.
specific God or?
I mean, I do. Yeah, it's just like God or whatever. It's this feeling of like, the eternal witness.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been here since I was a little kid to now. It's unchanging, and I can like see it right now, or hear it, or feel it right now. If I investigate like what was with me when I was a little boy, and is it still here now, and has it changed? And it's still here and it hasn't changed. It's like, and even after your death, that'll still, and that's like consciousness.
Do you identify with a specific religion?
I lean towards JC.
Just chilling?
No, Jesus Christ. And just chilling.
That would be my religion.
I lean in that direction, but
Sorry.
I feel like that was pretty good. But I feel like that freaks people out, and I see why it's freaky.
What, Jesus?
Yeah, just like that. It's got it's.
I'm not a fan of religion.
You're not.
I'm not a big fan of it either, but that's where I lean that way. But I don't have any kind of feeling like, oh, you have to believe this or you're gonna
totally
be doomed. I don't believe that.
I'm just waiting for the answers, but you got to find them. So.
Well, it's like one long question. This life,
Yeah.
What do you think happens when you die?
It's so funny. I literally did a podcast last week where we talked about how it's when you die. Like it must be, this energy must be like, because I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
Must be like present. Okay. What happens when you die? I don't know what happens when you die.
I know you don't know.
I know you thought that I knew, but I actually don't know.
Damn
I'm
it,
really
Joe.
sorry.
All right,
This is why we had her on. I was looking for that answer.
What do I think
What
happens?
do you think?
I don't think anything happens.
Really, it's just blank.
I think it's like, is that what you think?
Yeah, I think,
I don't know.
just-
Maybe my opinion will change, but
Life is so fragile; it could end in a second, and it's just that's just what it is. It's done.
I think of it as like an eternal sleep.
Yeah, I think that consciousness that's unchanging in us is still going to be going.
I can't believe this is coming up so much in my life. I do think about this a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm in that like coming of age period where I'm like figuring out my own beliefs and like coming to terms with mortality. It's fucking freaky.
Well, yeah, the whole thing. Life.
The whole thing.
It's so freaky.
You ever just like lie in bed and you're like, I'm going to die one day? That freaks me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Once you have kids, you're going to think about it a lot more.
Oh, great. What do you think about when you think about it?
Well, no, it's like once there's, it's one thing I've noticed is you have all these like terrible thoughts about death and what if and this. The minute you have like, oh my God, you're responsible for this other person. It's one thing that took me a long time to like brush off and just consciously say, you got to stop thinking about these things.
Do you feel like instead of brushing it off, there was like a thought that you had or an idea that you had that made you come to terms with it more?
It's inevitable, and I should just stop thinking about it because it's not going to change anything, and it's not doing me any good just going through the scenarios in my mind.
Right. What about you?
Well, I just think like this whole thing is so wild and insane. Like just life in general is so mystical and magical just on the surface of it. Like, so to think about things mystically and magically, just it makes sense to me. Like, it's so bizarre that we're already here doing this and coming from where we've come from, that the idea that it continues on after we die on some level in some new way is not that much of a stretch to me. Like,
I hear that.
Like the phrase of like, do you believe, like somebody said like about reincarnation, do you believe in reincarnation? They're like, yeah, because it's no stranger the idea of being born twice than it is being born once.
That's cool, yeah. I mean, I definitely
what I
think,
mean? It's true if you think about
it's crazy
it. It's like,
to get born.
It's already nuts.
I think that your energy, of course, circulates. Like it's a thing that exists and it's real. I don't know. I honestly, like I said, I'm beginning my spiritual journey, and I hope that like, a year from now, I feel maybe I'll have completely different answers and I'll feel more grounded in them.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Just like thinking about like consciousness. What is consciousness?
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you.
Above my pay grade, Poppy.
No, but just like that, there's something about that question that is in itself comforting to me.
Comforting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like what is consciousness? I don't know.
What's comforting about that?
I don't know. I think it's comforting because it leads you towards unity, because consciousness is like this never-ending thing. It doesn't have a beginning. It doesn't have an end. And the consciousness that's in me that is primarily me is exactly the same as the consciousness that's in you, and is primarily you. And so therefore we are one.
Yeah.
And we are one with everybody.
Yeah.
And all consciousness. So that's the comforting thing. It makes you feel less alone.
I can see that for sure. To me, consciousness feels like the thought, the idea. Like when I hear that word, I think of the way our brains develop to even have consciousness. And that is just so crazy to me. Like how that's crazy.
The brain arose to facilitate movement. That it's actually a machine designed primarily to like do all this, like moving around, like, so when somebody told me this, like, I forget, some scientist told me that.
Weird.
And it's like, yeah, your brain loves it when you're engaging in activity that's movement oriented and you're trying to get better at it, like boxing or dancing or yoga or even running. Well,
they say like, the endorphins when you exercise are very magical. They can cure depression.
Oh, they definitely do.
So.
Yeah. But it's also like, that's why like when you're running or you're doing some kind of athletic movement oriented thing that you're trying to get better at, you get filled with much more inspiration because your brain is firing on the cylinders of which it was intended to fire on.
So tomorrow we're gonna wake up. We're gonna
Morning
each write
pages.
3 pages, and we're gonna exercise 4 times a week.
Absolutely.
He already does that. I'm out on that whole thing.
It's good though for like if you're writing comedy and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That could be a motivation. Not that you need anything, but if you want, like,
Right.
if you wanted extra motivation, there it is. Because it definitely, beyond just getting you like physically more attractive or whatever, it helps your creativity.
Right. Yeah.
There's even like some kind of being in the sea. I forget what it's called, but it has something like a nervous system and a brain, and it moves. But then at part of its life, it lands on a rock and never moves again. And once it does that, it consumes its own nervous system. It consumes its own
Wow.
brain.
What a metaphor.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got so deep on this podcast.
Good times. We really did. So are you like pushing towards like doing like a sort of 1 hour Netflix comedy special? Is that one of your dreams?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
totally. Definitely. 100%.
Yeah. How close are you think to having that kind of material that you'd be?
I think I have a solid 30 minutes. I could do a 30-minute thing right now.
That's awesome.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You
Right
should
here.
get
I'll
him.
film it
Get him
for
to
City
you.
film it.
Winery. Yeah.
I'll film it for you, put it up on YouTube for free, see what happens.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it.
I'd love to do that.
Do you ever get like motivated through a sort of competitive spirit? Like, are there people that you clock that you're like, oh man, I'm like, it's not in a negative way. It's
Right.
like a little jealous, but also motivated. And I'm also a fan, and I'm also a little mad.
No, I don't get competitive that way. I get
Right.
competitive if someone like fucks me over.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, you think you're going to fuck me over?
yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah. Right. That's
But
good
when I
energy.
see other people successful, I feel happy for them. It's not like one or the other. Everyone, there's enough room for everyone in this world to
Absolutely.
find their stage. So
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Ho'oponopono? Oh, it's a meditation. It's like a mantra that goes, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
oh, wow.
Yeah. And you just sort of have that on repeat, and you apply it to any situation in your life that is disturbing you.
That's cool.
Or any person.
What is it again?
I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you.
And why is it called that?
Why is it called Ho'oponopono? Because it's from Hawaii.
Oh,
It's a Hawaiian thing.
cool.
And there's this guy, Dr. Hugh Lin. He like healed a whole asylum full of insane people, criminally insane people,
Wow.
just by looking at their files. And because it entered his field of consciousness,
Right.
their problems, his philosophy is everything in your field of consciousness is your responsibility.
Yeah.
So even if, like, say, Ehud says that he's mentally ill, and then it's in my consciousness that he's mentally ill, so then it's my responsibility, his mental illness. And if I apply the Ho'oponopono prayer to it, I can cure his mental illness through the
How
magic
does that
of
work with, that's cool, but how does that work with, like, I feel like then it's like crossing really unhealthy boundaries. Like, I
Right.
think one thing I struggle with is
That's true.
not feeling responsible for other people's bullshit.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's right, but it's kind of on a different level.
Right,
It's
right.
more just like, you're absolutely right about that. But
Yeah.
it's like, it's more just like, what it is it's, and of course I'm giving an extreme example, but it's really just about self-empowerment.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's like, if somebody fucks you over or something like that, if you take a victim stance on that, and wait for them to apologize or them to make good, that's a disempowering place
Right.
to exist in. If somebody fucks you over and you go like, oh, well, this happened in my personal dream, in my field of consciousness, therefore I created it on some level, and then you apply that mantra to that situation just within yourself. You even apologize to said person within
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
You empower yourself fully, and it also has such a power that it can actually like give you peace and resolve the situation.
Right. Like,
That's the idea.
I wonder if, like, people that I have unresolved animosity towards.
Right.
Like if they can feel it when I resolve it in my own head without talking to them.
I think definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're all connected. It goes back to the consciousness thing where it's the same.
I bet sometimes no, though. I bet for the most part, yes.
Yeah.
Because I would love to resolve things that way without talking to people. And just
Try
being
it.
like,
This is it.
and just being like, I forgive you, bud.
No, I'm telling you, you can do that with this mantra. It works. Like, it works remarkably well. Like, I realize talking about it like that, it sounds pretty woo-woo or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like I have had real personal experience with it, and it definitely operates that way.
Well, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Every time I've asked you to solve something in my life by doing that.
Oh, I haven't really
How long
concentrated
should you repeat it?
Well, I put I slept with it last night on my on a mantra. Like I have an 8-hour one that I listen to.
Whoa,
like
on
wow.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on YouTube. I could send you some.
Wow.
Yeah, that you can find the mantras on YouTube.
You know, I do use like the Calm app,
Right.
but
Same
I guess
thing.
that's different.
Same scenario,
It's the
just
same
with that.
intention.
Same vibe.
intention. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, what else?
People should follow you.
Yes,
Your
yes.
podcast. So the podcast is weekly.
The podcast is weekly. So you can follow me on Instagram at Natalie Cuomo _. The podcast is every Thursday. There's a new episode, and that's at Thirst Trap the Pod on Instagram. Then I have my magazine at Classy Trashy Magazine on Instagram.
And your Etsy store.
My Etsy store is, if you're really interested, etsy.com/NatalieHSC.
And should we give Jake, is it Jake?
Mm-hmm.
Some business to his
give
motorcycle
Jake
shop?
a shout out.
Yeah. If you want to support Jake, he works at Morris Magneto in Morristown, New Jersey.
Nice.
Give him some business if you need your bike upgraded.
Are you guys going to go on like a couple's motorcycle trip or
Cross
what?
country?
Like both of you having your own bikes?
Yes.
When's that?
Well, I think that we would probably do it on. So he has like a 76 Ironhead, and I have an 85 Ironhead, and his is like, it's super like bare bones, and I can't really imagine. I think he wants to go on a long-term trip with it, but I would like to think we'd both just take my bike. We'll see.
And
Oh,
you'll
you
just
ride on
who's
the
gonna drive?
back?
He would drive.
He would drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a better driver than me. So,
Well, he's probably been doing it a lot longer.
yeah.
What's an Ironhead?
An Ironhead, it's a type of like Harley engine.
Oh, cool.
So
So it's a Harley. I got you. Well, man, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any last thoughts?
I don't know. You guys are awesome. I feel like I went to another world. I don't even know where I am right now.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I had lots of fun.
You did?
Thank
Okay,
you so much
good.
for
It's
having
been a
me.
pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you and Jake.
Thank you.
And I see big things in your future.
I hope so.
Oh, it's in the mix.
Yeah, when you're a huge
Don't
entrepreneur,
remember the little people. I mean, wait, no, remember the.
they'll come back
I
to
don't know
this
what I'm saying.
podcast when you were still.
I
Yeah,
hope
come
so.
back and see us again.
Yeah.
All right, Natalie.
Thank you.
All right.
All right,
thanks.
take it easy. Hi, this is Joseph Arthur. Thanks for checking out Come to Where I'm From. Please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/come to where I'm from. We are an independent podcast, and any contributions you can make are greatly appreciated.